A federal jury has found former Trump advisor Steve Bannon guilty on 2 counts of contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with subpoenas from the January 6th committee. Bannon faces up to 1 year in prison for each count, along with a $100,000 fine. His attorney said they will appeal.
Former President Donald Trump's trade advisor was convicted of contempt of Congress today. Peter Navarro was found guilty of defying a subpoena from the House committee investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Navarro has said he was protected by executive privilege, but the judge denied that defense, saying Navarro had not presented proof of that. Navarro could face up to 1 year in prison when sentenced. He's planning to appeal his conviction.
Today, a tense showdown on Capitol Hill. A House committee has threatened to hold Attorney General Eric Holder in contempt of Congress. The hearing, which started this morning, is in recess right now. Now, the committee wants Holder to provide documents on a botched federal sting operation that let weapons fall into the hands of Mexican drug gangs. Earlier today, President Obama stepped in and asserted executive privilege over the documents. The move means the Department of Justice can withhold sensitive and classified documents.
This morning, Attorney General Eric Holder is the first cabinet member ever to be held in contempt of Congress. More than 100 Democrats boycotted Thursday's House vote as African-American lawmakers led a walkout. Republicans have pressed Holder to hand over all documents related to the Fast and Furious gun tracking operation, which was first exposed by CBS News.
In late 2009, ATF agents in Phoenix noticed a flurry of gun purchases in the United States by suspected traffickers from Mexican drug cartels, including giant .50 caliber rifles. But instead of stopping the weapons, agents say their superiors ordered them to let the guns cross the border. It's called gun walking, to see where they ended up and see if they would lead to a major drug cartel leader. Agents videotaped suspected dealers from Mexican drug cartels buying weapons. The case grew to include thousands of weapons. Then, in December 2010, 2 Fast and Furious rifles turned up at the murder of a Border Patrol agent in Arizona, Brian Terry. The Justice Department publicly insisted no gun walking had gone on. That denial prompted one of the lead agents on the case, John Dodson, to step forward and speak to CBS News.
Here I am. Tell me I didn't do the things that I did. Tell me you didn't order me to do the things that I did. Tell me it didn't happen. Now you have a name on it, you have a face to put with it. Here I am, someone now. Tell me it didn't happen.
CBS News learned there were other alleged gun-walking operations dating back to the Bush administration in 2005. No drug kingpins were ever arrested, but the drug cartels became well-armed. Records obtained by CBS News show the weapons were used in a U.S. immigration agent's murder last year in Mexico. They were also used by drug cartels that assassinated a Mexican official's brother and attacked 2 Mexican government helicopters. Many of these guns will be on the street for years to come. According to the Justice Department, any so-called gun-walking operations have now been stopped. Holder issued an internal directive after the story broke, saying, quote, "We should not design or conduct undercover operations which include guns crossing the border."
This is a very interesting week because so many things are coming together or not. What we have seen is a shameful display of abuse of power by the Republicans in the House of Representatives. Instead of bringing job-creating legislation to the floor, the transportation bill, they are holding the Attorney General of the United States in contempt of Congress for doing his job. It's really important to note how this is connected with some of their other decisions. It is no accident, it is no coincidence that the Attorney General of the United States is the person responsible for making sure that voter suppression does not happen in our country, that issues that relate to the civil liberties of the American people are upheld. These very same people are holding him in contempt, are part of a nationwide scheme to suppress the vote.
At the end of the day that Judge Maida ruled that I could not use executive privilege as the defense in this case, the die was cast. This was pro forma. Pro forma. We knew going in what the verdict was going to be. That's why this is going to the appeals court. And we feel, look, I said from the beginning, this is going to the Supreme Court. I said from the beginning, I am willing to go to prison to settle this issue. I'm willing to do that. But I also know that the likelihood of me going to prison is relatively small because we are right on this issue.